Out here, the world shrinks to the size of your vessel. The northern gale, a weathered crabber, battered by years of storms and salt. The deck creaks beneath your boots, and every surface is slick with the memory of 1,000 waves. The Bering Sea is not just a backdrop, it's a living, breathing force, always watching, always waiting to test your resolve. On this boat, every man and woman knows the stakes. There's no room for hesitation, no time for second guessing. Every decision could mean the difference between a big haul and an empty hold, or worse. You're 260 miles from Dutch Harbor, Alaska, far from the safety of port, surrounded by nothing but endless, icy water. The nearest help is hours away, and the only thing more unforgiving than the sea is the clock ticking down on the season. The air is thick with salt and anticipation, the cold biting through every layer, numbing fingers and faces. Each breath you take stings your lungs, and the wind howls like a warning. The crew moves with practiced urgency, every motion a dance with danger. This is the final trip of king crab season, a last push before ice and regulations shut it all down. The pots are stacked high, the gear checked and rechecked, because there are no second chances out here. Every trap that goes overboard is a gamble, a hope for one last big score. A massive storm barrels in from the west, turning every hour into a race against time. The sky darkens, the wind picks up, and the sea begins to boil. You can feel the tension rising with the waves, as if the ocean itself is daring you to continue. The crew's quota is more than a number. It's mortgage payments, college funds, and the hope of making it home safe. Every crab pulled from the deep is a step closer to security, a small victory against the odds. The work is grueling, the hours endless, but the stakes couldn't be higher. The sea is a slate gray, waves building, the horizon blurred by bruised clouds. It's a landscape both beautiful and terrifying, a reminder that nature is always in control. Out here, you're just a visitor at the mercy of the elements. This isn't about glory, it's about survival, both financial and physical. The exhaustion is real, the danger constant, but the determination in every face is unmistakable. Each crew member knows what's at stake, and no one is willing to back down. The pressure is relentless, the storm closing in, and the finish line is a cold, churning racetrack. Every second counts, every wave is a new challenge, and the only way out is through. In the Bering Sea, you don't just fish for crab, you fight for your future. Captain John "Sully" Sullivan stands at the helm of the Northern Gale, a man whose presence commands respect without a word. His weathered face tells stories of countless seasons spent battling the unforgiving sea, each line etched by wind, salt, and time. Sully's eyes are always scanning the horizon, reading the sky and the water, with an instinct honed over decades. He's the kind of leader who knows when to push through a storm and when to wait it out. And his crew trusts him with their lives. He knows the hidden currents, the secret fishing grounds passed down through generations, and the heavy responsibility of every man's safety and paycheck. The weight of command sits on his shoulders, but he carries it with a quiet strength that keeps the crew steady even in the roughest seas. Marco, the deck boss, is Sully's right hand. His movements on deck are sharp and efficient, a product of years spent hauling crab pots in freezing spray. Jake, the greenhorn, is new to the life, but learns quickly, his hands raw but determined. Liam, the engineer, is the heartbeat of the boat, keeping the engine running through salt, cold, and constant vibration. Every man on board has a job that matters. Out here, a single mistake can mean disaster. There's no room for hesitation or error. The crew moves as one, each relying on the others to keep the boat afloat and the catch coming in. Orders are shouted over the deafening roar of engines and crashing waves, but sometimes words aren't enough. Hands flash signals in a silent language born of necessity, each gesture clear and urgent amid the chaos. The work is relentless. Bait, set, haul, repeat. The rhythm of the job is punishing, and the cold bites through even the thickest gear. Every haul is a test of strength and endurance, and the sea never gives up its bounty easily. 800-pound pots swing overhead, and every muscle strains to keep up. Fatigue is a constant companion, but there's no time to rest. not when the clock is ticking and the weather can turn in an instant. Some crew members are here to honor a family legacy, others are chasing the promise of a big payday. But whatever brought them aboard, they're united by the same drive to survive and succeed. Bonds are forged over shared meals, early mornings, and the ever-present threat of the sea. In this world of steel decks and salt water, trust isn't just important, it's everything. Each handshake, each shared glance, is a promise to watch each other's backs, no matter what the ocean throws at them. The crew of the Northern Gale is more than a team. They're a family forged by necessity and danger, bound together by grit, loyalty, and the hope of making it home. Captain Sully steers to his secret grounds, a gamble built on experience. The first pot breaks the surface, water cascading, and the crew holds its breath. Marco swings it aboard. Cheers erupt. It's packed. 45 keepers, double what they need. The mood shifts. Pressure eases, hope surges. Next pot, 67 crabs, then 39, then 54. The streak continues. The sorting table is a blur. The sound of crabs hitting metal is the sound of money and progress. Sully allows a rare smile. A strong start is a crucial buffer. For now, the crew rides a wave of success, working in perfect rhythm. The labor feels lighter, the cold less fierce. They have a real shot at beating the storm and heading home with full tanks. Suddenly, the rhythm shatters. A violent lurch, a sickening sound below. The Northern Gale is snagged, immobilized by another boat's gear wrapped around the prop and rudder. Dread replaces hope. The storm is closing in. Every minute tangled is a minute lost. Sully works the throttle. Marco and Liam lean over with gaffs, fighting to free the line. It's a dangerous, delicate battle, man and machine against stubborn steel. After tense minutes, the line slackens, the rogue pot floats free. Relief floods the deck. They've avoided a diver and disaster. The storm is closer, but they're moving again. It's a small victory, but out here, every win counts. The race resumes, more urgent than ever. The relief is brief. Almost instantly, the storm returns. No longer a distant threat, but a roaring, living presence that surrounds the boat. The crew barely has time to catch their breath before the fury of the sea is upon them again, more intense than before. The sky darkens to an inky black, swallowing the last traces of daylight. Wind howls like a wild animal, tearing at the rigging and sending sheets of icy spray across the deck. Waves crash from all directions, unpredictable and relentless, as if the ocean itself is trying to swallow the boat whole. Sully makes the call. There's no time to reset the pots. The only option is to pull the last 13 and get out while they still can. Every second counts now, and the crew knows it. The deck erupts into chaos. Crab pots swing wildly on their lines, threatening to crush anything in their path. Icy water sweeps across the deck, soaking boots and freezing hands. Every step is a risk, every movement calculated to avoid disaster. The crew moves with desperate speed, muscles burning from exhaustion, nerves stretched to the breaking point. Each man is pushed to his limit, fighting not just the storm, but the creeping fear that this night could be their last. The storm is no longer a distant menace. It's here, a monstrous beast breathing down their necks, threatening to tear the boat apart with every towering wave. Danger is everywhere. A single slip could mean disaster. A rogue wave, a swinging pot, or a moment's distraction could send a man overboard or worse. Shouts and frantic hand signals cut through the deafening noise of the storm. Faces are set in grim determination, each man focused on the task at hand, trusting his life to the skill of his crewmates. The earlier excitement and adrenaline have vanished. Now it's pure survival. Every decision, every action is about staying alive. It's not about the quota anymore. It's about making it off the sea alive, about seeing the sunrise again. The ocean doesn't care about their catch, only about testing their will to survive. This is the deadliest job on Earth, and tonight, the sea is making sure they never forget it. Every man on deck knows, out here, survival is never guaranteed. The crew digs deep, hauling the last 13 pots as the storm rages. The first few pots disappoint. 25-24, then a meager 13 crabs. Tension mounts. Their early cushion is vanishing. Then a swing of luck. 38 crabs, then a dud, then a packed pot. Over 50 keepers. Relief surges, they're back on track. The final 2 pots are solid, pushing them over the finish line. With the last crab sorted, it's official. They've hit their quota. Exhausted cheers erupt, pride and relief mixing on every face. The frantic energy shifts to urgency. Gear is secured, deck cleared. The fishing is over. Now comes the most dangerous part. The run for home through the teeth of the storm. The Bering Sea isn't done with them yet. Survival is the only goal. Tanks full, gear secured, Sully points the bow toward home. Their shortcut. False pass. A narrow, shallow channel, deadly in a storm. Massive breakers, 30 feet high, churn the entrance. The only chance is at slack tide. A brief window of relative calm. Miss it, and they'll face the storm in open sea. Sully's knuckles whiten on the wheel, eyes locked on radar and depth sounder. The northern gale is tossed like a toy, every adjustment critical. Below deck, the crew can only trust their captain. The boat shudders, metal screams, water roars. Each minute in the pass is an eternity. Every wave, a threat. It's a gut-wrenching ride through chaos, survival, hanging by a thread. As Sully battles the storm, the crew finally rests in the galley, exhaustion settling in. Liam, the engineer, pulls out a photo of his wife and son, the cost of this life weighing on him. Pride and loss mix. He's providing, but missing moments he can't get back. The sea's pull is strong, but family's is stronger. He tucks the photo away, the question unresolved. For now, only survival matters. The decision about next season can wait. The hardest choices aren't about fishing, they're about the life waiting on shore. The storm subsides. The northern gale emerges into calmer Pacific waters. Captain Sully finally relaxes. He's brought his crew through. Dutch Harbor is hours away. Relief spreads through the boat. The men, exhausted but triumphant, prepare for port. They've faced the Bering Sea at its worst and won. Pride and satisfaction fill the air. Teamwork and grit have paid off. For Liam and others, the thought of home is the ultimate prize. The northern gale, battered but undefeated, returns as a champion. They've filled their quota, survived the storm, and come home as heroes. For a Bering Sea fisherman, there's no sweeter victory.